Hey you guys, so we are going to do the Q&A right now. Thank you so much for all of you who asked questions. I put it on the community tab like a couple weeks back. So I am going to try to read each question and answer it as quickly as I can so you can hear as many answers as possible. There are some I'll skip over just because I probably wouldn't have answered it because it's something that I haven't shared with everyone on purpose, like my name or something like that. But thank you for asking anyhow. Okay, so let's get started. Could you share the meaning behind the channel name if that isn't too personal? And 43 people wanted to know that, and I think a lot of people asked that in other spots. The name came because I knew that ASMR was like really relaxing for people, kind of like a pampering idea, and really, that kind of vibe. And so villa for me is like a villa in Italy, a place of like beauty and, I don't know, simplicity and rest and loveliness. So it's really just, I thought the word was kind of like went with that vibe of ASMR a little bit. I'm Italian, maybe that's why that's in my head, I don't know, but really it was more the vibe of ASMR that I was going for. Next, you have said you're an artist. Can you share all the mediums you use and possibly share some of your work? So yeah, I painted for a while and did a lot of like mixed medium stuff with like different kind, like acrylic and like really simple stuff like pieces of magazines cut out. It's like really in India and Middle Eastern inspired style, very kind of whimsical. I do have a video, if I remember I will link it for you because it's me doing artwork for the ASMR video. I just like really more like home decor. I'm not like a great like realistic, I can't draw like realistic stuff. It's more like design. And then that's only like that kind of artwork. Let's see. Hi Villa, my question is, do you prefer fake nails or your real nails for ASMR? Which one do you think sounds better? I think they both sound great in like different ways. I personally can say for a fact that I prefer the acrylics, but not because of like the sound. These aren't acrylic, what am I saying? These are just like glue-on nails, sorry. But that's only because it's less stressful for me. Trying to keep my nails long for those 4.5 years, I actually had like a lot of nightmares of like a nail breaking, things like that. So like being able to simply put new ones on and not worry as much about if something breaks is like, so nice. So for that reason, I am really enjoying having these, and it's like you can kind of get some really fun designs. They're constantly long. Like I had short nails like 2 months and then long nails for like 2 months short, so you wouldn't always get the great sounds. So for me, those are the reasons I prefer these. But yeah, I think they make great sounds both, I think. Okay, next. I almost swiped on my computer screen. My monitor screen, I mean. Okay, let's see. Okay, a lot of people asked about this too. Hey, could you go into detail on how you live a community lifestyle? Love you lots. That's M-Dog who asked that. I should say who's asking it. The last question was that the last piece of cheese. That's the name of the channel. Excellent. And then before that, the artist question was Christina L. And the name of the channel was Lainey Skinner. Okay, so M-Dog. Hey, could you go into detail? Okay, how you live a community lifestyle, love you lots. So we've lived in 2 different communities, and that just means that for us, we've lived with like different, like a whole other family or couple. We've lived with one other couple, and we've lived with a family of 4 before. And it just means like you share living spaces such as the kitchen, living rooms, outdoors, you know, patios, that kind of stuff. So that's all shared space. So you kind of just have to know that if you're there, other people are welcome there too. You're not going to be alone. You can't like kick people out of something, like it's not your space, it's a shared space. And then your room or your bathroom or if you have like a separate room that's yours as well, those are like obviously off limits to the other families. So you kind of just keep in your space unless you are in a shared space. We share a refrigerator, so like we share, like this is your section, our section, your section, our section, and it's like it's kind of like you do life together. Some people, so we lived with some people where it was like we did life together more so, and then others it's been more just like we just live there, almost like it's not roommates because you're like close. You do things together, you play games together, you watch movies together. Yeah, roommates do that, okay. But it's different. It's because I've had lots of roommates before. It's like you have like dinners together where it's like intentional to care for one another. You know, if like the other family's having a baby, you like make the meals for some time for them, and like I don't know, like we prayed together and we care for each other's children, which will come up in a bit. Like the kids in the other family would like always be with us. If the parents want to go on a date, like they're just with us. Like we kind of shared lives, a little bit like a village, you know, like how they say, what's the phrase? It takes a village, kind of like that. So it depends on who you're living with. Everyone's a bit different, and we've done it with 2 different groups of people. I don't know, it's really special because like you really do share life together. Like, you know, it's like if someone has a doctor's appointment, you can take them if they're a spouse or whoever's not available. Like you're like family too. There it is. Like it's kind of like family and friends meshed. Okay, the next question is by Bloop. I really like that channel name. Or whatever, that's your screen, I don't know. Okay, hi Villa. My question is, what are you doing to pass time in quarantine? Okay, I've been filming videos and editing and talking to you guys on comments and in Patreon. I have been dancing. I try to dance. Like at first it was like once a day. Not once a day, like every day, I mean. And now like I'm dancing and like walking alternatively, that kind of thing. I try to do something like that. Cooking, talking on the phone to friends and family that I'm catching up with, spending Jesus time, doing my nails when I need to, watching, I like watching news on YouTube, like getting updates and stuff. Like I'll watch a show once in a while, but to be honest, like I'm not really watching anything. Really, it's mainly just like news things, catching up on those details. I think that's it. Eating. I eat ice cream every day, sometimes twice a day. Okay, next question. Sarah Rios. Okay, Sarah Rios wins the collab. Yeah, let's do it. I think you had said last, like, what do you want to do? What should we do, you guys? What should Sarah and I do for our collab? Sarah Rios is an awesome ASMR channel. If you like mine, you probably like hers. We have a similar style of tapping, scratching, a little bit faster. What can we do, Sarah? Oh my gosh, you were in my dream last night, Sarah. And you were just like sitting at a table nearby, and I was like, hey Sarah, what do you want to do for our collab? I'm just remembering this right now. This has obviously been in my head. Okay, send me an email, or I'll send you one, and we'll figure it out. Because like there's so many, you know, the little bell thing, and there's like a million things that come up when you click it. So I never know like who responds to what. So email's easier. So it's, you check out my ASMRVilla@gmail.com. Anybody can email me there technically, but and I'll look you up. We'll figure it out. And let us know, you guys, if you have suggestions, what you'd want us to do as a collab. Okay, next question, Suzanne Verhu. I'm probably saying that wrong. It says, do you think you'll ever do a face reveal? I don't know. Maybe if I get to like 1 million subscribers or something, I'll be like, hi. I don't know, honestly. Maybe. It's not like completely out of the question, but so far, no. Okay. Okay, the next is Thor. Do you ever think of making another YouTube channel non-ASMR related? I thought about, well, I do have one. You just don't realize it. It's just a small one. It's for dance. I've got dance videos on YouTube. My husband and I sometimes do little fun collaborations, and he helps do the video for them. And we have them on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you where. Maybe someday. We'll see. Okay, the next one is Theodora Kovacs. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Hi Villa, you mentioned that you take care of mini children. What does that mean? How do you do that? Thank you. Okay, so some of the children are, like I was mentioning, children of family members, yes, too. I have family that has kids that I've spent lots of time with. They're like been my own. And then also community family members, like the people I've lived with. They've had kids, like I mentioned, and they're just like our kids. And then there's another one that I watched, some really close friends of mine. I like raised their half raised their daughter. I love her. Ugh. So yeah, and then like I've done lots of like babysitting in the past too, but these more recents, like yours, like they're at your place, you have like cribs for them and everything. I love them, and I love caring for children, because like they're so, I just don't like when children aren't cared for. It really bothers me. Okay, next question. The channel name is a bear, like it's like things that make a bear. Is your English accent real? What do you think? It is not, actually. Sorry for the surprise to anyone who did not know that yet. I am American, and the purpose of my English accent was when I first started the channel, I did not speak at all, and I really wanted to stay anonymous because we had some friends who had a channel that was pretty large, and like they had people trying to find them, and they had like the cops at their homes, and it was like a bad time to start the channel when you know those things happen. And so I just like wanted to be anonymous for that reason. And then when I wanted to like communicate with everyone, it'd been like, I don't know, 8 months or something. I was like, I was like writing on a board to say hi to people and to like communicate things. It's like, I want to talk. And for some really weird reason, I have this English accent that I do, which I apologize to everyone who is English if it's horrific. It probably is. But it was like the way I could still be anonymous and communicate. I also find it like some of my favorite ASMR artists are British. Like, I don't know, it's that I find it so relaxing, that accent. And so it kind of just like worked. I feel like there were other reasons at the time that I'm not even remembering, but those are the standouts. Okay, next question is from Sapphire. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to ask your husband a question that she can reply back to, But if I can, I'll ask this. I'm wildly fascinated by mythology, and I really wanted to know if worshipping the Egyptian gods is still going on in Egypt. I love Isis and Serket. I'm sorry, saying that wrong probably. You know, I didn't ask, I'm so sorry. I didn't realise this would be for him. So I don't know his answer, but I think it would be probably similar to mine, is that yes, there are probably, still some people that do. But I would say, I'm guessing it'd be a smaller portion. And probably, here's the funny thing, probably not in Egypt. It might be people like outside of Egypt that are like fascinated by it or something. You know, that might be the thing. Kind of like the way that a lot of like Americans have like Buddha statues all over and are like, I'm Buddhist. More like they like the idea that they've heard of what Buddhism is, and like it's kind of like that. Like people that might do that might be outside of Egypt. Okay. Gorgeous people is the next question. Channel name for the question. Can you do a face reveal? Oh, I already answered that. Okay, next. Oh, I hear your comments all the time. Your channel name is just letters and numbers, so JKYB 7088. Thanks for all your comments all the time. You are funny. You are hilarious, actually. Okay. Hi, Villa. Do you think you'll ever do a face reveal? Same question, sorry. I mean, do you truly, truly want to, or would you rather remain anonymous? Also, are you more of a cat or dog person? Okay, I'm more of a dog person, since I already answered the first. In terms of do I truly, truly want to? I don't know. It's like kind of like, I really kind of like the anonymous portion, so I'm not really sure the answer to that. Yeah, I like dogs more. They're so cute and cuddly, and like they like follow you, and like they're so happy, and their little tails go. I'm kind of like cats. Like, I'm gonna be honest, sorry if this is offensive, I get a little bit scared of cats because like they move like this, and then their tail also moves like this, and then sometimes their eyes are kind of like, and I get a bit scared. They kind of like got snake qualities to them, like the way they move, and like I don't know, unless, okay, I like really fat cats. Kittens or fat fluffy cats, but the thin ones that have like kind of scaly, I'm sorry, I don't know, it's not my thing. Maybe because I did not grow up with cats and I grew up with a dog, probably that's it. Okay, Atrice is next. Atrice McCurry. How's it going, Atrice? Okay, my question for you. Are you into video games? If so, what type? What genre? Love you so much. Love you too. I'm really excited about this Q&A. Me too. She said, okay, one more. What is community living like during quarantine? Okay, it's a bit different. She said, sorry, I had to ask, love you. Okay, I'm not into video games. My husband is, though. I know nothing about them, and I, like, he has to explain, like, everything to me. I don't have a clue. But the ones he does, well, there's so many that he does, but the one that looks fun to me is like where you build your own world with like your friends. It's kind of like, whoa, that's cool. Community living during quarantine. So I'm in a different place right now, but when I was with my community during quarantine for a bit of time, like we're each other's group. But one of the people I lived with is a pharmacist, and so we kind of like were being careful. So anyway, we're not like all in the same place obviously right now, but it was just the same as it was always. We just like were each other's family, so we didn't like wear face masks around each other or anything, but just you have to wash your hands so much if you live with an essential worker, just because they are in and out and they're with the community and caring for people. So I had to be a lot more careful, like wash my hands constantly. Okay, ASMR with A is the next question. Although you live in community, have you ever considered getting a pet? Maybe a cat or smaller dog? My husband has wanted a dog for a long time, and actually the people we live with now want one, so it might happen at some point. I'm not sure. Okay, John Smith, what nationality are you? Okay, I'm American. My ethnicity though is Italian, and then one side is like a European blend. Lots of different countries, French, English, German are the ones that I know of. Okay, next, oh, the little bear asked another question. The bear thing I told you about. Who is your favorite ASMR artist to listen to on YouTube? Okay, I love Minx Laura ASMR 123. That's her channel name. I love her channel. She is one of my favorites. I love Sarah Rios. Like I mentioned, she asked a question earlier. Go check her out. Lindsay Hamilton is another ASMR channel that I love. Again, if you like my style, you'll probably like the three I just mentioned. And the ASMR artists, I'm trying to think. There are quite a few that I watch. I'd say those are my favorites, though. Anything else that I go to often? Yeah, there was a channel, ASMR Rest. I think she may have started posting a bit. She's one of my favorite all-time videos. It's a shoe tapping video. Yeah, so those are some. Over time I changed, but then I've really been like, these have been my favorites for a long time now. Okay, and then also the bear asked, are you secretive about your ASMR identity? Do friends, family know about your channel? I'm not secretive in that sense. All my friends and family know about my channel, and they're the ones that give me all the stuff to tap on. Mobile Warrior. So your husband is Egyptian, but is he also a Christian? Yes, he is also a Christian, and his family is as well. Okay, the next one is Helena Parent. Hi Villa, what do you use to film? Is it just a phone? If so, which one? Okay, recently it's all been my phone, just because I couldn't bring my equipment, so phone. I think I have like an iPhone. Oh geez, I'm bad at this stuff. Is this an iPhone 7? Yes, I think it's like an iPhone 7. I think it might have like a letter after it. That's not my specialty, sorry. In terms of, I do sometimes use a video camera and audio equipment as well. Okay, Delightful Mystery asks, what's your favorite trigger in ASMR? My favorite trigger, gosh, you know, I don't know if there's a trigger, but like walkthroughs with tapping, fast tapping, anything fast, and then like walkthroughs of a place or a store. And I really like talking with the tapping. Okay, what's your favorite YouTuber at ASMR? Just mentioned that. Which do you prefer, tapping or scratching? Ooh. Oh, and what's your zodiac sign? I think tapping. I think tapping over scratching. I don't know. I really like both. That's hard for me to answer. And I think I'm a Cancer. I think I'm July. My birthday's in July. Oh, you guys don't know that. That's good. There's a question coming up. It's the next one. So I'll go right to it. It's because I read these before. Christina L. Can you share 3 facts about yourself that we don't already know if you're willing to share? Love your channel. Thank you. My birthday's in July. I have one. I didn't know what else I was going to say, but that's perfect. Number 2. Let's see. Facts about myself you don't already know. Okay, I have to tap on something for you while I think. Okay, when I was very young, I did a birthday party where I planned the entire theme, and it was a murder mystery dinner, and I wrote the entire script, invited like 25 friends, and I had about 3 that were in on it, and I created this whole thing where you'd walk around a house and there were people calling phones at the ends of hallways, and it was really intricate and really fun. I'm really creative, and I really like coming up with ideas like that. This one. Number 3. I was on the radio when I was young, singing. I was very, very little, and I think I talked more than I sang. And that is because my dad is a really incredible musician. And his song was on the radio. He had a lot of songs on the radio when I was young. And he's a songwriter. You would not know him necessarily, you would know who he wrote for. Okay. Let's see. Jadlia ASMR. Go check out all these ASMR channels, guys. Someone else asked my question on channel name, so I thought to ask you, Someone else asked my question on channel name, so thought to ask you, have said you are a dancer, is that work related or just a hobby? Okay, got it. Also, how did you choose name? As I want to change mine but unsure. Also thinks you're my favorite ASMR artist. That's so nice, thank you. So I mentioned the name already. Yes, I'm a dancer. Is it work related? Currently, no, it's not currently work related. Except for certain times I get hired to dance for things and I'm paid for it. So, like, someone needs a dance performed at an event, and like they know about me from a friend, and they will ask, and they'll call me and they'll pay me to dance. So in that sense, very infrequently that happens, but that does happen. So I wouldn't really say work related, but I taught professionally for 4 years. I taught dance. There was a point in my life where it was work related, and I would not doubt if it was again in the future. Teaching, maybe some like dance classes and stuff, but they aren't like technique classes, but like dance. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, I do. I have gotten hired for like. You know when brides and grooms do like their first dance. I love Latin, like ballroom dancing as well, salsa and stuff like that. So I have a couple times been hired to like teach a father-daughter dance or like a bride-groom dance. Next question, June. Hello Villa. Hi. So excited for this new Q&A video. I know this is a random question, but I was wondering if you were the type of person who liked adrenaline-type activities, roller coasters, bungee jumping, skydiving, etc. I've been subscribed to you since the beginning of your channel, and I still love your videos just as much as the day I found you. Thank you so much, and God bless you. That's so cool that you've been here since the beginning. Thank you so much, June. I love that. No, I don't like adrenaline-type activities. I like roller coasters, but not bungee jumping or skydiving. So like, I like some, but not like at that level. Oh my gosh, I really don't like being up high. Except roller coasters, I do. I love like the twisty-turvy ones like this. Going up forever and then dropping, not my favorite. But I love the like the speed and then like the twists, just not the like extensive drops where I feel like I'm dying. What about June? Are you an adrenaline junkie? Okay, Cherries ASMR. My question is, what inspired you to start making ASMR videos? Lots of love. And a cute little strawberry. It was just because I loved watching them falling asleep. I had found them when I was looking up a hair tutorial like 6 years ago. Oh, longer, maybe 7 years ago. And I looked up this hair tutorial, and it was someone just brushing someone's hair. I realized, okay, this is not a tutorial, this is something different, but what is happening? And I found myself like sinking into my chair, like really relaxed, and I could not stop watching it. And I was looking for more things like it. I realized it had ASMR as like it's the acronym there, so I started looking it up, figured out what it was, and loved them from there. And I would fall asleep watching them, and I think it was just like I wanted to try it to see what would happen if I put one up on. I had an Etsy shop, and it just wasn't successful. Like it's just a lot of work for very little reward, if you will. Like it was, and so it's like, maybe this is something I could do on the side to like make a few bucks. That's what I was thinking, honestly. I didn't really know even at the time how like beneficial it was to people. I just knew it relaxed me and I got tingles. I didn't know it helped people with like insomnia and anxiety and depression and stuff. So I really just thought, hey, you know what? My husband and I are artists. We make like, and I was like, you know what? Because our jobs are really flexible, things like Etsy or YouTube can be like nice things that we can do on the side when we don't have a lot of jobs in the genre we do. So that's really what I was thinking. And I put out a video and it got like a lot of views. And I was like, okay, let me put another one. And then I really started to enjoy it. Still, I didn't make any money doing it at all in the beginning. It takes a really long time to actually make money putting videos on YouTube. I do now, which is awesome, thank God, thank you guys. But in the beginning, you're just making them, see what happens for a long time. So yeah, that's honestly what inspired it, those kind of coupling of things. I really enjoyed watching them. I had a video camera and an audio thing, so kind of just like, let's try. And now I like love it. I love making ASMR videos, and I love watching them, and I just like it, the whole thing. And I like that it helps people. I had no idea when I started though. So no, it wasn't like out of the goodness of my heart. It was just like, let's see what happens. Okay. The next name, I think is like, I want to say Russian of some sort. I don't know for sure. Sorry, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. But it's HZGDUSJS. And then the second name is NXNSKSJSBS. Hey there, I have this question for many social media influencers out there, so I was wondering what your inspiration for the channel was. Or what did you decide to create? Why did you decide to create an ASMR channel? Also, your ASMR videos are fantastic. Lots of love from Canada. What ethnicity is that? What's your name? What's like the background of that name? So I already answered that question. What was my influence or inspiration? Really, that's what I just kind of answered, I guess. So I think I already answered those. Sorry, but I guess I did. And next person also asked, Melissa Style asks, where did ASMRVilla come from? Answered that. Okay, Via Rose, hi. Oh, I was the one who asked for the Q&A and you responded. I'm so glad. Thank you for asking, because I'd been thinking about it for some time, so you motivated me. She said, thank you so much. Many of my questions have been asked, but I guess my only other one, as a junior in college, LOL, is if you went to college, and if so, what did you study? I study women and gender studies and leadership and innovation management, and a double minor in communication and political science. Wow. I was the first female student government president at my school in 10 years. That's awesome. She said, pretty exciting. That's awesome. I did go to, what is the actual question? If you went to college, if so, what did you study? So yeah, I have a degree in linguistics, which is the study of language. A lot of people think that means that you just know a lot of languages, but it's not what it means. It means that you study different aspects of language. So For example, morphology, or you might look into like historical linguistics, phonetics, things like that. So there's a lot of portions, different parts of linguistics that you study, and it does help you to learn other languages. But that's you do, like, I took another language. I took Arabic when I was studying. You do have to take another language usually when you are getting a degree in that. I have a bachelor's degree in that. I don't have a master's degree. I only did my bachelor's in again, linguistics. So fun. I loved it. It was like eating candy. That's how much I liked it. I was like, oh. Okay. The Queen 284 asked, "What's your name? If you're comfortable revealing it, you can just call me Villa." It's Villa. Call me Villa. 2. Any face reveal plans? Already answered. Do you read all comments on your videos? I don't read all of them. I usually read, I'd say like the first like maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 hours is when I will go on, and recently I've been able to talk to you guys more on there, so I'll go and read them and try to respond to you guys. But like probably by the next day I'm going to the next video and trying to answer some of those. So to be honest, I don't get to read all of them. There are a lot of comments, and it's hard because like people that are commenting on videos that have gone up a long time ago, so I don't always see. I'm sorry, but that's the honest answer. I do see them more on the current videos going out. But thank you for commenting, even if it's an old video. Maybe I'll see it in the future though, you know what I mean? But okay, and then what languages do you know? This is still the Queen 284. I know okay, I don't feel like I know any other languages really well. Okay, so Spanish, I can get by. I took a lot of years of Spanish. There's a language in India called Telugu, which at one point I did speak conversationally. And to be honest, I can't remember. Like, if someone's speaking to me, I might be able to pick up pieces now, but I can't anymore. And then Arabic, Egyptian Arabic specifically. But I wouldn't say I know it. It's like, I can understand, I'd say, I'm going to be brutal, probably 30%. And that's just like, if I were to take it as a whole. If it's a conversation about basics, I might get the whole thing. If it's a conversation about something complicated, I'll get nothing. So, yeah. And then I can speak bits and yeah. Do you film every day? Yeah, usually. And she said since you upload every day. There are times when I, in the past, have done, I might film 3 or even 4 videos in a day, because I can't the rest of the time or something. But lately, I usually film at least once a day. Was your husband raised in Egypt? Yes, he was. He was in Egypt until he was 7 years old when he moved here to the US. Okay, next question. Mazzy Black. I would love to know more about tapping at stores. This is great, I like this. Do employees ask what you are doing tapping on the items, or have you ever been asked to leave? I have seen nutrition vids where YouTubers are asked to leave for showing products. I've never had an employee ask me to leave, or ask me what I was doing. But I kind of like go purposefully to places where people are not. If I see someone coming that's an employee, I will turn or like keep it real cool, just like and I always take a cart with me, and I place it in front of me strategically so that I have a little bit more freedom, and then I often will kind of film lower than higher where everybody can see me. Do customers give you funny looks or ask you about it, or even go off to tell on you? Funny looks, yeah, I think so. I try not to look at them. And if they come, I try to stop so we don't have too many awkward moments. But I don't think anyone's ever told on me, because no one ever came to me to hassle me, so I don't think so. I do think people have noticed more recently that I am filming ASMR though. I get that. I didn't know. It's like they didn't say anything, but the way they look and I don't know, they get a look of like, oh, that really does happen in real life. And then, do you purposely go to areas in the stores where there aren't any customers and or leave when people come around? Yeah, so I answered those. Yes and yes. I would also be interested in how you started out. Like, did you go all in and get a nice microphone and camera? Or did you start with just phone and no video editing kind of deal? We had like a camera and audio thing. So I kind of already had that, which made it easy to start. But if you're going, I don't know, it's really easy to film with the phone and it still has pretty good sound quality. So you can always do that. We had like simple editing stuff that we did. My husband is like a perfectionist, and so if it was just me, it would have just like gone up as is with all the like mess ups. But he's like, don't you want to edit out the portions that got messed up or something happened? I'm like, yeah, good idea. So thanks to him, things are better than they would have been just with me. Yeah, but you can also find really good editing programs for your phone too. iMovie is free and it's easy to edit on. Okay, let me see where we're at here. Okay. Wildflower ASMR. I don't know if you've answered this before, but what made you decide to start an ASMR channel? Did you expect to have as many subscribers? So I already answered that, but did you expect to have as many subscribers as you have? No, absolutely not. I never expected to have a subscriber. Not at all. Didn't even realize. Next one, Michelle Graff. This isn't a question, but I remember in a video once you said you'd tell the story of what your tattoo means to you, and I'm really interested in hearing that. Hope you're doing well. Okay. My tattoo, I don't know. It says, a royal diadem in the hand of your God. So, I've probably shared some, here and there. It is from the Bible. It's from Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, and it says, it's a portion from that text. It's extremely meaningful to me. There was a period of my life where I was really hard on myself and I didn't really understand God's character. I did not grow up in a family that were Christians at all. In fact, probably a little bit opposite. And so I became a Christian when I was younger and no one else in my family was. So it's actually quite difficult. I got hassled quite a bit. Gosh, a lot. It was hard. And so I didn't really know a lot about God, actually. It was through a lot of, if you are familiar with spiritual warfare, basically the spiritual realm of life, not so much the physical that you can touch, but the spiritual which you cannot touch. I had a lot of experiences with that right when I first was asking questions about Jesus. I was confused because I had friends, some of my best friends were Muslims, and I didn't quite understand the difference. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys, you don't have to agree with this at all, of course, but I couldn't figure out why Jesus was special or unique in comparison to Buddha or Muhammad or etc. And I was asking that question as a young, in my teens. And let's just say the question got answered in a very shocking way. I saw things happen in the spiritual realm that only the name of Jesus could set people free from. I'll keep it at that because it's quite detailed and it can be a bit scary for people to hear about. It's not scary when you see God protecting people and loving people and setting people free. But it can be scary what people are in bondage to and the way that looks. So I happened to see a lot of that and I noticed that it was only the name of Jesus that would set people free. Other names did not, nothing else did. And then I started to experience that personally. I had things in the middle of the night kind of bothering me. I'm going to try and keep it light. And I would only, in the name of Jesus, get away from me, then it's done. Any other name, it didn't work. I didn't understand the character, the love of God. I just knew he's very real. I will follow him with everything I am. Oh my gosh, I was terrified. But that led to a place of a bit of like following it like a law and not like a loving relationship with God. And so there was a period of time where I was just follow the law. I had no idea, because again, I had no other Christians in my life that were family members. It was like only the people I went to church with, and I just didn't know enough, to be honest. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so there was a time when I was quite hard on myself in a way I shouldn't have been. I was kind of missing the point of Jesus dying for me. Just missed it, didn't get it. And God used the word royal to communicate to me that I was a delight to him. He found me like a princess in his eyes. I was a delight, I was a treasure to him. And that blew my socks off. And he would say it to me at a period that I was really hard on myself. I would see the word royal, and I kid you not, 7-8 times a day. Anytime I'd get really hard on myself in my head, God would be like, stop it. You are precious to me, and I've cleansed you of any sin. You don't have to be beating yourself up over everything. That's the whole point of me dying for you. So for about a 3-month period, I saw the word royal every day, 7-8 times. At the moments when I started to be hard on myself, blew my mind. And the reason that word was significant is because I had seen it in Isaiah, and it had really hit me one day. So then after I saw it that day, I wrote it in my journal, and then I would see it constantly. So a royal diadem in the hand of your God. And after I really believed it, it had sunk in deep into me, then I never had to see it. It was like God didn't need to show it to me every 2 minutes. So yeah, that's what that tattoo means. And that's the story of it. Thank you for asking. I love my tattoo. I like tattoos a lot. Do you guys have any tattoos? What do they say? What do they mean? Show them to me. No, I don't know if you can show it. Just like tell me about them. James Nadon, I think. Hey Villa, I was wondering what coast do you live on, like east or west? Not gonna tell you. If that is too personal, what is your favorite color? Okay, simple. Or animal, great. My favorite color is yellow, because if you put all the colors together, like so many colors, if yellow's not there, for some reason it loses a bit of pop. My favorite animal? Probably like a puppy. Probably a puppy. I know dog also, but like puppy in particular, or any dog that always looks like a puppy. Also, how did you get into community living? I mean, at first it was like a need financially to share with other people. We were just like, hey, you need other people to live with, we need other people to live with. And we kind of liked the idea, and another friend of mine had done it before and really found value to it, so we tried it. So it was like financial, and then also just a desire to be like more involved in people's lives and kind of love our community better. And it's kind of like a process. Like you can't be very like about yourself in that situation. You kind of have to like cater to other people and care for them. It's not easy for some. It's not an easy thing sometimes. I love it, but like some people hate it, and it's totally understandable. I'm an introvert though, and I still really liked it. So as long as you make a space for yourself that you can retreat to, and no one's going to hassle you, then you'll probably be good even as an introvert. But if you're extreme introvert and you are annoyed by people easily and you like your space to yourself, don't do it. I caution you. we've had a bad experience with that too. Okay, Skylar S. If it's not too personal, I'm just curious, how old are you? Oh, that was the first question too. I didn't even ask it because I wasn't going to answer. How old do you think I am? Caitlin Fresh. Have you gotten into any books, shows, podcasts during quarantine? Thank you for all of the great content you share. Love your channel. Thank you. I haven't gotten into any new things. Oh, you know what? There's a comedian named Sebastian Monte. What's his last name? Something with an M. On YouTube. Hilarious. He's hilarious. He's Italian, and so I'm Italian. Hilarious. So I've gotten into watching a lot of his stuff. I mean, there's shows that I've watched, but I had already been watching. I like Younger and what's it called? Good Girls. It's so funny. Okay, Michelle Graff. Also, I've always been curious about your political views, whether you lean more right or left. If you're comfortable sharing, I understand that can be controversial, and that may be why you haven't really touched on that topic. All the like serious conversation topics are coming at the end. Probably good, because you're only probably here if you really want to know the answers at this point. Okay, political views. So I don't like put myself in a political stance, to be honest. I don't when I even I'm signed up as like no party. I forget what it's called. I'm not signed up with a party. And that's because I kind of care more about what the person stands for and believes and like that sort of thing than I do about the party. I don't get it. That's just me. I will say that I probably lean a lot more left than I do right. In terms of like, I'm more Democratic than I am Republican in general with different stances. Yeah, there's things on both sides that are good and bad, so I just don't fall on either one. How do I put this? I'll just give my opinion. This is my opinion. It does not have to be yours. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Trump's leadership. That's probably the simplest way I'll put it. I'm sorry if you are. Not sorry, it's just we have different opinions, you know? That's okay. That's okay. But yeah, it's not my thing. Okay, for a lot of reasons. Yeah. Okay. What's next? How did you discover ASMR? This is Fatouche. How did you discover ASMR? When did you want to start and why? Okay, I think I answered that. And then Pixie Smith, will you ever use your real accent in the video? Okay. For you guys who stayed this long, I will say one small sentence in my real voice, okay? Because you stayed this long. What should I say? Okay. Hi, my name is Villa. Okay, don't tell. You heard my real voice. Could you share... Oh, this is Tiff MF. Could you share more about your art? You seem creative. Being that I'm an artist, would love to see in here. Okay, so someone actually asked that before. Gail. Hey Villa, my questions are, what is your favorite color? Answered that. What is your favorite song, artist, genre of music? Ooh, I love music. I like a lot of music. I would actually say probably pop and hip hop are my favorites. I know, there's so many that are my favorites. For me, like anything I can dance to, that I get inspired to dance to, favorite. Okay, this next one I think is in Korean, so I don't know how to say the name. What is your MBTI? Oh yeah, I remember that I had to say, what is that? So let's see if you answered. Oh, you did. Oh, it's a personality type test. Search the internet and test it. This is the trend these days. I'm afraid you didn't understand because I'm not good at English. MBT, no, oh, you asked great. I just don't know what that is still. So I don't know that one. One I do know is the Myers-Briggs. I think I am, this is silly because I feel like I'm not this anymore. I've become much more introverted. I technically come out as E, N for sure, F with flying colours, and I think I go between P and J. I think I'm more J, but for some reason I've come out P. I think I'm kind of like border on I and E and P and J in different ways. Oh, okay. Okay, so then someone did say, I think she means your Myers-Briggs, so there you go. My Enneagram type, I can't remember that one. Which one am I? I think I came out mostly, is it helper? Helper and performer and perfectionist. I think those three were the most for me. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's still so many more questions. Okay guys, I'm going to end here and I'm going to do a second video because I think it's just too long for you guys, okay? So thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye for now.